Once upon a chilling winter's night, in a quiet suburban town, lived a teenager named Alex. His parents had left for a rare weekend getaway, leaving him home alone. The house, an old Victorian relic, creaked and groaned with each gust of wind, casting eerie shadows that danced on the walls. As the clock struck midnight, Alex settled into the living room, engrossed in a horror movie marathon. The wind outside howled like a pack of wolves, and the occasional tapping on the windows sent shivers down his spine. But Alex dismissed it all as mere figments of his imagination. As the movies grew more intense, Alex found himself drawn into a world of suspense and fear. Unbeknownst to him, the line between fiction and reality began to blur. The flickering lights played tricks on his mind, and every creak of the old house sounded like footsteps. Suddenly, the power went out, plunging the house into absolute darkness. Alex's heart raced, and he fumbled for his phone to use its feeble flashlight. The once comforting glow of the TV had vanished, leaving him in an abyss of uncertainty. A faint scratching sound echoed from the kitchen, and Alex's breath caught in his throat. His imagination ran wild with thoughts of intruders or supernatural entities. Summoning courage, he tiptoed towards the kitchen, the darkness swallowing him with every step. As he reached the kitchen doorway, the scratching intensified, sending a shiver down his spine. Gripping the flashlight, Alex swung it towards the source of the noise. To his relief, it was just the wind causing a tree branch to scrape against the window. Sighing with relief, Alex turned to leave, but a sudden chill crept down his spine. The air grew heavy, and the house seemed to exhale a low, ominous moan. Fear gnawed at him as he scanned the room, searching for the origin of the unsettling feeling. The reflection in the darkened window caught his attention, a shadowy figure standing behind him. His heart pounded, and he slowly turned, the flashlight revealing an empty room. The figure had vanished, but the dread lingered. Doubting his senses, Alex rushed back to the living room, hoping it was a trick of the shadows. As he approached, the TV flickered back to life, casting a pale glow. On the screen, the horror movie continued, mirroring the events he had just experienced. Shaken, Alex questioned his sanity. Was it a supernatural encounter or a vivid nightmare induced by the movies? The house remained silent, and the wind outside had ceased its ominous howling. As the night waned, Alex hesitated to close his eyes, fearing what lurked in the darkness. The once cozy home now felt like a haunted haven. When his parents returned, he greeted them with a forced smile, never revealing the spine-chilling ordeal of that long, harrowing night when he was truly home alone. It was a cold, stormy night in the small town of Ravenswood. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows and causing the trees to sway ominously. Inside the Thompson residence, 12-year-old Emma sat on the living room couch, engrossed in her book, while her parents were attending a late-night event in the city. They had left her alone for the first time, assuring her that everything would be fine. The clock struck midnight, and Emma felt a sudden chill in the air. She dismissed it as the draught from the stormy night, but unease settled in her stomach. She decided to lock all the doors and windows, double-checking each one. As she secured the last window, she caught a glimpse of a shadowy figure standing across the street. The dim streetlight revealed a silhouette that seemed to be watching her. Nervously, Emma pulled the curtains closed and tried to shake off her fear. She convinced herself it was just her imagination playing tricks on her. However, the unsettling feeling lingered. She retreated to her room, turning on all the lights to dispel the encroaching darkness. As the minutes passed, Emma began to hear strange noises. Creaks and whispers echoed through the empty hallways. She attributed them to the old house settling, but doubt gnawed at her. Deciding to investigate, she tiptoed down the dimly lit corridor. The whispers grew louder, now resembling distant voices. Emma reached the top of the staircase, peering down into the darkness below. Suddenly, a cold gust of wind extinguished the candles lining the staircase, plunging the area into total darkness. Panic set in, and Emma fumbled for her phone, using its weak glow to guide her way. She cautiously descended the stairs, the whispers now forming indistinguishable words. The air felt heavy, laden with an otherworldly presence. Emma reached the bottom step and froze. The living room was no longer empty. Flickering shadows danced on the walls, revealing a ghastly figure standing in the center of the room. It was a woman, her tattered gown flowing as if suspended in mid-air. Her hollow eyes met Emma's, sending a shiver down her spine. The room grew colder, and the whispers crescendoed into haunting laughter. Terrified, Emma stumbled backward, realizing the figure was surrounded by other spectral shapes. The ghostly apparition seemed to materialize from the darkness, reaching out towards her. Emma sprinted towards the front door, desperate to escape the haunting entities. But as she reached for the doorknob, it wouldn't budge. Panic set in as the ghostly figures closed in. Emma's heart pounded in her chest as she turned to face the spirits, their icy fingers brushing against her skin. In that chilling moment, she felt an otherworldly connection, a link to a past that she couldn't comprehend. Suddenly, the storm outside intensified, unleashing a torrential downpour that rattled the windows. With a deafening roar, the ghostly figures dissipated into the shadows, leaving Emma alone in the eerie silence. As dawn broke and the storm subsided, Emma's parents returned home to find her huddled on the living room floor. She recounted the night's horrors, but they dismissed it as an overactive imagination fueled by the storm. Yet, every time the wind howled and the shadows danced, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that the spirits of the past lingered, waiting for another night to tell their tale. The Thompson residence, once a haven, now held a dark secret that whispered through the halls when the wind blew just right.